Hi, I'm Chris the Contemplative, and I am pretty mad this week. Something has been really ticking me off, and it's really been a long time coming. I'm a millennial, about 29 years old, and I've seen such a disgrace to the human intellect and soul be driven into the hearts of mankind since I was a kid. And since then, I've been reflecting on it. People really hate their lives. Let's just be real. It has come to such a clownish, ridiculous level of self-abuse and narcissism that people don't even know why they're miserable. In order to really do something about this, we need to be honest with ourselves. We need to be honest about the system we have been programmed under. The system of the education of the United States and many other modern Western cultures has been so wrought with Marxism and laziness and intellectual laziness that we actually don't even see it coming because we're so used to it. And then don't even get me started on the universities. Then on top of that, it seems like almost every religious institution involving Christianity has been completely taken over by Marxist ideas. And what is Marxist ideas? Well, you can talk about Karl Marx, but I think there's a greater umbrella that we're now seeing. There's a greater spirit behind this, which is the spirit of the hive mind. You see, anytime you make a decision to base your opinion or do an action off of the popular opinion instead of truth, you are a cultural Marxist, or you're following that crowd, you're following that mob of people. And how much longer are we going to take this? We're seeing absolute totalitarian government completely take over the world. We've seen millions of lives ruined by terrible morality, by absolute wasting time on money and sexuality and power. We've seen generations of people who have based their lives around this. They're not any happier. And this is not a new message. This message is quite old. Many religions have, and I would also say not just many religions, but great thinkers, philosophers, writers have already come to the conclusion, if you know history and culture, they've already come to the conclusion that money, sexuality, and power cannot be an end. They are just a means. And even then it has to be done in the right context. But apparently there are so-called Christians and intellectual Western people that pride themselves on such big brains that have for generations pretty much gone along with what the great minds have all warned us about without questioning anything. You know, all the wicked ones had to do was change the labels up a bit and spin things around a little bit on the wheel or shuffle the names in the hat, and people still fell for the same old tricks. Now, you may listen to my rant and think I am making a political statement, but it really isn't. Of course, I see people on both sides of the political spectrum fall for this, and it is a human issue. It's not just one side or the other. Although I would say any political party that is for cultural Marxism or straight up Marxism and a hive mind mentality and emotions, you should disabuse yourselves of them completely. But I don't need to go down that road because that already highlights what kinds of political parties I'm talking about, and I think you know who. We can pretend that both sides are equal, but we all know which sides literally are trying to recreate our natural law concepts that we've had for thousands of years, and suddenly, once again, we're enlightened. You know, in the past 30 to 40 years, we're enlightened past all of those common sense, natural law, hard science facts, and we have a new science of emotions and theories that aren't backed up by anything. But this is deeper than that, because in order to get to the root of this issue, and in order to potentially Save yourselves from Egypt. Come out of Egypt, my people. Come. Let my people go, Pharaoh. In order to actually do that, you have to look at where this all came from. Any movement, no matter how bad, had to start with a few people with some really terrible ideas. And I don't blame the internet either. In fact, I was teaching my summer camp students about this in a mock debate. I brought up a counterpoint that, well, there's always been this mentality, because how do you explain Nazi Germany, Soviet Russia, Mao's China, the Confederate South? How do you explain that? The internet could exacerbate these issues, but obviously this has been just a fallen human weakness. A fallen human weakness to go with the crowd, to fall under the spirit of cowardice, go along with whatever will give you status, power, or keep you from getting persecuted, because the truth is just too scary, and we can't do that. And we go to each little cute little trend, and every little trend is suddenly the new big thing, and if you don't believe in the trend, you're the most evil person ever, or whatever cartoonish nonsense caricature they like throwing out. And then of course the previous trends thrown out with the garbage, in place of another one. And I've seen this so ridiculously throughout my life, it's only accelerating. To be honest, at this point, it's every month or every other month there's a new trend, and then now the trends are contradicting each other. Like a particular health crisis, we've seen quite a few conflicting messages on that, haven't we? So this is clearly going into an absolute circus. This is turning into a parody of itself. And this is a trailer for my 1 p.m. Eastern Saturday discussion on my Awake show about what the Catechism has to say on this issue and how to find true happiness. Now, of course, saying that social status and sexuality and power and money is completely secondary to the truth and to love and to transcendent beauty has been an argument that's already been put out. Like I said, many great minds have already come up with it, and other religions too. I'm not going to pretend that Buddhism hasn't found out about this, and other religions as well. And I've done some podcasts talking about these religions and comparing them. But we have such a watered down Christianity that apparently no one's taught this stuff. There's no depth. So we have to start from square zero. So if you're interested in going on this wild adventure with me, re-looking at what the church fathers and the mystics say about this dilemma, you will find a treasure beyond anything you've ever known, which is the treasure of freedom. Because most of these issues come from a slavery, mental slavery. And the Bible says we need to put on the new mind of Christ. And we look around, we jump around like jackrabbits from one thing to another, trying to find the easy, quick solution. Well, first of all, in this life, if you're fortunate to live long, there is no easy answer. It's a long road up Calvary and Mount Carmel, of the mountain that leads us to purification and the truth about ourselves and others. It's a long path of detachment to be truly free from sin and from deception. But let's be real. People's minds are falling apart. They're tearing asunder, and they're following the program. They're following what they've been told. So this program that tells us that you just need this, this, and this is wrong. It's clearly wrong. And we're always worried about our rights and our freedom and what we need. But you don't understand, there is no true wisdom that does not question itself. There is no true freedom that does not involve inner freedom. There is no true love that isn't based on truth. And there's none of that's going to happen without courage either. None of that's going to happen with this wimpy, confused, follow the crowd, absolutely manipulated, completely hypocritical, and just flat out lie new morality that's come upon us, and this new form of what truth is, and it's just so confusing, and all these contradictions. It just gets worse and worse. So I'm going to be ranting about that, and we're going to start with what the Catechism says, and you'd be surprised how simple the gospel applies to these very real dilemmas, of addiction and not having your own agency, which is kind of like an assault on the soul. You don't feel like an individual. How awful. Not having a greater good to aspire to, not being intimate with some greater reality outside of this temporal one, not being not having something or someone that can give you the grace to become a better person. So if you're at the level to start again, please join me. Please be open-minded in the right way. Be open-minded to things that may be painful and to things that may be joyful. Be open-minded to the truth. And God bless. I hope to see you all there.